you doing?
How you doing? Okay. Hey, what up, y'all? It's me, your boy, Lil D, coming at you from the den with my friend Vera.
Hi!
And we are going to be doing a nursing Would You Rather. So I'm a nurse.
And I'm a nurse. We met at work.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been a nurse for 3 years. She's been...
Yeah, for 3 years, actually, just last week. No, 2 weeks ago.
So 3 and 3. So we came up with some questions, a little, appropriate questions, but this is the nursing version of Would You Rather.
Yeah. Disclaimer, no HIPAA. No HIPAA violations here.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Okay, so let me see. I'll go first.
Okay.
Wait, you go first.
Okay. So, if you could pick between two superpowers for a whole shift, would you rather have a personal huck or a scribe? So all your charting done by someone else, all your consults called, every phone call answered by someone else, or have another copy of you, like a body double, to task and do things and do like the manual task?
I think, yeah. I mean, if someone's doing all my charting, it just sounds like I'm not doing too much. I'm passing medications, helping my patients. I think I would want a double.
A body
double? 2 double. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I like taking I like taking students so much also, because I like having someone else there, an extra pair of hands, and charting really isn't that bad.
Oh, really?
Well,
I'm polar opposite. I dread it. I put
really?
it off to the last. I stay at the bedside for the first 4 or 5 hours. I avoid charting so much.
Okay. Would you rather take care of a guy who has C. diff and is constantly having bowel movements in the bed, or take care of a 25-year-old boy who is sexy and low-key flirts with you in front of his mom?
Oh God, give me the C differ. Give me the C differ. Coming from that experience, when you take care of patients that are your age, it's such a weird, because when you have someone that's a lot older than you or a lot younger, you kind of know where you stand and what your place is, and you should always maintain that professionalism.
Right.
But especially if they're close to you and you feel because when patients come in, they sometimes get reduced down to a room number and a diagnosis, the stroke in 42 or the leg fracture in 51. But when you start to humanize them and you have more to connect with them over, especially when they're close to your age, they're doing things similar to you, it can, that line gets kind of foggy, because you hear all those scandals about, the prison nurse got married to a prisoner, and just, it's
yeah.
not saying that I've never done, I've never, oh, girl, but just, I'd rather have something I am familiar with, because when you have a patient that, is so similar to you, and then they start, it's not unfamiliar to have patients flirt, but just, it makes things weird. It makes it hard to do the job, especially when the more inappropriate they get, the less I feel like going into the room.
Especially if they're your age also.
Yeah, because then it's what if I see you at Costco? Or what if I see you at the gas station?
Flirting in front of their mom.
Yeah, and that's just uncomfortable. I like to keep work at work and my personal life personal.
I would totally take care of the old guy.
Yeah,
I'd be I'll take care of you. Yeah, I got you.
Because,
But, the flirting with me and, we're the same age, I'm ooh, that is unprofessional.
Because in theory, it sounds like it's easier to deal with the flirt. But in practice, it just makes your whole day, you feel weird, you feel jumbled, you don't know what to say, and then when you stop talking, they're like, oh, what's wrong? And it just makes things way too uncomfortable.
Yes.
And, the poor guy, he didn't choose to have C. diff, and C. diff sucks. Woo.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Would you rather pack a tunneling and rotting peri-area wound, or frequently suction, I'm talking Q 30 minutes, frequently suction oral secretions?
I mean, one of our first interactions was packing a peri wound.
I was so new to the floor, and David was one of the first, kind of friendly faces I felt comfortable asking for help, and I don't know if you're familiar with... Stop licking my armpit! She's crazy.
Okay.
But David was one of the first people I felt comfortable asking for help at work, and I don't know if you're familiar with what a PANUS, PANNUS is, but basically I walked up to David and I said, okay, I need help. I either need you to pack this antimicrobial tape in this wound for me or hold the PANUS up so I can do it. So David, like a good nurse friend, held my PANUS.
I'll hold the PANUS. You got this.
And then I was packing the wound, and I didn't, like, the area that the wound was in.
Like, it looked small.
Like, it looked small.
Yeah, it looked really
like
tiny.
It would be very superficial. And I'm not a wound care nurse, so I don't know a lot about these things, but I took the little cotton tip applicator and I pushed it in, and I was like, it's still going, and my face was just like...
And like, keep going.
And then David was just like so calm and so like, yep, just keep packing. And I was like, oh my god, this wound goes so deep. So...
Well, I'll take the wound though. Yeah, other than cue 30-minute suctioning because...
I hate.
Oh my god. Well, oral secretions, I do not.
Give me like necrotic, rotting, like frequent like messes in the bed. Give me that. But if someone vomits, I feel like I'm gonna vomit. Or if like I had a patient one time that was foaming at the mouth in her sleep, and then I woke her up and she just like swallowed all of it, and I.
Oh no! When they start getting that thick mucusy in your section.
The worst.
Yeah.
I would rather. I'd rather deal with feet than deal with oral secretions, and I've.
Oh yeah, like I cannot.
I hate feet.
Ugh. All right. Okay. So this one's a little bit more appropriate than my first one. You know. Okay. Yeah. Would you rather do primary care on 3 patients, or would you rather have 5 patients and no CN with a CNA?
Okay.
So primary care on 3 or 5 with a CNA? I'd
rather do primary for 3. Yeah. Just because I feel like it's safer.
Right.
You know, because there are days, especially at my first job, my very first job, there would be days where we'd have to go up to 5 patients and there would be no aide. Or sometimes you'd get 6 med surges and you'd have an aide. And I know to some people out there that might sound like a cakewalk, like, oh, I've taken like 8 or 9 neuros, or I've taken like 10 patients in an acute care setting, and like, you know, kudos to you if you can do it. I don't feel safe taking more than 4 at this point.
Right, because some people do take 5 patients and 6 patients, and
like I get it if it's like a rehab or like a skilled nursing setting, like where that's appropriate, but in the acute care setting, in the field we work in, because we're neurotele, I would rather do primary care on 3, because like I feel like my brain is only cut into 4 pieces. I can only remember 4 people for 12 hours. After years of working this job, I feel like my short-term memory is just like trash, absolute trash. But yeah, because I mean, like having a CNA to help would kind of decompress the 5, but that's still 5 people you're fully.
Right. Yeah, that's still 5 meds. That's still charting 3 times on 5 people. And I mean, if they got other stuff going on, that's a lot to keep up with. So I would also go with the primary on 3.
Yeah. Okay. So, just going off of pet peeves here. Would you rather have a day where you have the doctors pick up all your phone calls and they put in every order?
Okay, this is sounding nice. Wow. Okay,
or would you rather not have your phone ring for the whole shift? Not a single phone call. Oh,
man. You know, I'd rather have the doctors pick up every phone call and put every order in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I'm like chasing the doctors like, hey, we're going to put this order in. And a lot of times I just end up putting in the order myself. At the beginning, I didn't feel comfortable because there's a lot of orders and I don't know exactly what they want. Now that I do, sometimes it's a lot faster for me just to do it myself, even though we're not really supposed to. Mm-hmm. The day would go smooth.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like because I'm float pool now, like at my first job, if you asked me at my first job, because once I was 2 years in, I had like my relationships with the doctors and I kind of knew where they stood and which ones were comfortable with me just putting in orders because they didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, especially if we both rounded on the patient. Like, I knew some that would be like, oh, yeah, just leave me a voicemail and it's fine. But then there are others who are like, no, like call me with everything and I'll do it myself. So I think now that I'm float pool and I don't necessarily stay in any one place too long, I would rather just not have my phone ring for the whole day, because there are some days where you're just trying to sit down and do some stuff, and that we have the Nokia. Are they Nokia? I think they're Nokia.
Something like that.
Ascom phones, and
let me tell you.
Yeah. No. That ringing tone is just instant PTSD.
Yeah. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or would you rathers, leave them in the comments down below, and maybe we can do another one of these in the future. Ooh. And make sure you follow Vera on The Selfish Years.
Oh, hey, little plug to my podcast.
Yeah.
It's at The Selfish Years on Instagram. And yeah, it's also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, because I do it through Anchor, so wherever they post is just... that's where you'll find it.
Okay, and I'll link it all down below also. But we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.